And now, back to PTR Radio.
I made a little list of some of the things that you discussed. Bestiality, abortion, AIDS, Irishmen who drink, nuns, premature ejaculation, breastfeeding, and farts.
This is PTR Radio.
And welcome, everybody, to another edition of PTR Radio here on the fabulous interweb. That's right, we are back, and it's another week of Corona Watch. That's right, we're still a segmented studio, so, and who knows how long this could go on for. Months, years, eons. You just don't know.
I also don't know how long is my hair going to get.
Yeah. Well, I cut my own last time it needed cut, so you know, I took the hard way out, and I just did it myself.
I was going to get a haircut, and then I found out that our county is a COVID epicenter, and I was like, that's okay.
You know, why can't we be an epicenter for something good? We're the fun epicenter. You know, we're the cool epicenter, you know, or something awesome. Why do we got to be the COVID epicenter? We don't want to be that.
No. Instead, we're the state capital, so we're the epicenter of everything bad.
Yeah.
According to everybody else in the state, just blame everything on us.
Well, yeah. And, today we're in lovely Australia, as you can see. So it was Australia's time. Although I have a new flag coming. I finally found another flag that's worth the money that I decided to buy. So probably Wednesday or Thursday, this will officially be the Oval Office. I bought the presidential seal flag. Because I can't buy political flags, right? I can't fly political flags here because of my work.
Right.
And so, I'm like, okay, well, what can I do? Not because I'm supporting one person or the other. Don't get me wrong. That's not happening. But, I still want to do something. By the way, Mike, the toy is on for you now. So I decided, I'll get the presidential seal. I was also thinking, well, maybe I should get Texas and Florida. And then we can just have a contest, and whoever's higher on the coronavirus deaths, that's whose flag I'll fly the next day.
No. Do not do that.
It'll be subtle. Nobody listens to us, so nobody will know that that's what I'm doing.
With your luck, next thing you know, internet radio show does bit based on corona deaths. Oh, God. Well, it was a nice career. Well, it lasted.
Career? You got paid for this? I didn't get paid. Career implies payment.
I'm talking about anybody else who winds up in the news for anything corona related, like any negative action. Forget it. Your career is done.
That's true. Yeah, no.
You show up to work the next day with a pink slip.
Yeah. Yeah, no, we won't be doing that. It's just kind of, I don't know. It's a bit odd. It's a bit odd. There are tons of things going around, though. I mean, now we hear Lipitor could save you from coronavirus. Did you guys read that?
That's a lie started by Conan O'Brien.
I know, but now, okay, we all kind of thought about what the next one would be, right? We had that whole thing on the show where we decided, okay, was it going to be meth gators next, or was it going to be, zombie apocalypse next, or what's it going to be? Well, we now know the answer, and the answer is we're all going to have trench fever next. Did you see this on the front page of Yahoo?
Did we skip over bubonic plague?
No, But evidently that's going to come after.
Well, that's already out. And what makes it worse is some kid in like Istanbul, Kentucky, or some ridiculous place like out there in the backwoods contracted it because he ate an infected rodent. That's all they said, rodent. They didn't say squirrel, possum, rat. No, just infected
Fever.
rodent. Now, I also got it from an inside source at a hospital that apparently there's some kind of rabbit thing going around too. That the rabbits around here are carrying some kind of Fugazi thing. I don't know. I don't remember what the heck it was. And I'm just like, okay, so real quick, you laughed when I said that word, Fugazi.
I thought maybe your informant was saying that Dr. Fiducci was getting a rabbit as a pet, and you got it confused, or he or she got it confused.
No, for like the past 2 months or so, maybe even longer, I've been, when something's screwed up, I say this Fugazi thing, this thing's all Fugazi. And I don't know where I picked up the word, but all of a sudden in the middle of all this, I said, shit, I better look this up. It's
a rock band.
Because I might be using a word that
doesn't mean what you think it means. You could be getting into an indicted predicament.
It could be worse.
Yeah, we'll do that.
You could be getting indicted of something.
I knew someone who actually, when they adopted their first dog, they named it something that their grandmother used to say all the time, Shylock.
Okay.
Little did she know that was an Irish term, an Irish anti-Semitic term. How about we put it that way?
Yeah.
So here's the dog with that name on the license, and we're just going to call her Shy from now on.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to look up Fugazi to make sure. I thought it was the name of a band.
Right.
But apparently it's not. Mama Blair seems to think that the next thing actually is going to be
rodents of an unusual size. Yeah. Well, I think if I'm looking here correctly, Mike, did you know Fugazi is a post-hardcore punk band from Washington, D.C.?
That is where I knew it from. Because I remember I clearly have an image of it on an album cover. So that's where, okay.
From 1986 to 2003.
But that really doesn't mean anything because, well...
And it's a slang word which refers to something that is fake or damaged beyond repair.
Okay. I'm good then.
Yep.
Good. I'm safe. All
mm-hmm.
right, so I can keep using it.
Unless we find out that it is also, Yiddish for bastard or something like that,
So, well, okay. So in other COVID news, this one is breaking because I just heard about it before we came on air.
Mm-hmm.
One of our favorite. No, I'm not going to whitelist you. I'll go to another website to find out. Apparently, one of the more popular kitschy type stores is also going to go through a big rebranding of a lot of their products.
Mm-hmm.
Trader Joe's is finally decided.
Now they're going to become Trader Joe's. Oh, no. Trader Joe's is racist?
They are removing this branding from many of their international foods. So they will no longer have Trader Ming's, Arabian Joe's, Trader Jose.
Oh. Yeah, Trader Hosan. Yeah, boy. That's what are they gonna do to poor $2 Chuck? I mean, they're gonna have to say like impoverished Charlie.
No, I think you're going too far on that one.
Well, I don't know.
Yeah. Wait, Too Much
Social
Chuck is named
injustice
that
juice?
because it's actually named Charles Schwa, so.
It was an online petition, a change.org petition.
Which the reply is, yes, we're already doing that. We don't need the petition. Thank you.
Should we just find a place and start a petition and just make up how things are racist?
See, this is just it. This is the ultimate in virtue signaling right here, right? Because if they were already doing it and now they come out and say, well, because of this petition, we're going to go ahead and do this. You know, you're making it seem like that's a participation trophy right there. I mean,
yeah.
Why not just come out and say we're already doing it?
Yeah, that's what they said. They basically said, yes, we're already doing it. These products have already been done. These products, we still had packaging sitting around, so it's still on there, but we're getting to it. That was basically what they said, which is not virtue signaling. That was basically, yeah, you're a little late. Thank you.
Meanwhile, the Washington Redskins, what are they? The football team.
Yeah.
After 20 plus years of being criticized about their logo, now all of a sudden they're going to give in and change it.
Mm-hmm.
They don't know what they're going to change it to, and damn it, it better be the Sentinels with Shane Falco.
Yes. Yes. I think it should be. All right, so...
Because there's a bunch of websites run by a place called SB Nation, and they have, a site for every single team. And I was like, oh, what's the name of the website for the Redskins team? And are they going to have to figure out their name? So I go and look at it, and I find out it's called Hogs Haven.
Oh, that's
so I'm looking at going, okay.
That's offensive to fat people. PETA should get against them.
If the team is already using hogs, then they need to come up with something. Yes, Trader Giovanni is one of the ones going away. Oh. They just come up with something porcine related, and that could be their new name.
So, in addition to the ones that we know about, did you know that Dreyer's ice cream is changing the name of Eskimo pie?
Yes.
And Colgate evidently has a top-selling Chinese toothpaste brand called Darlie, which features a smiling man in blackface. Okay, I can see where that one needs to change.
Yes.
Australian-based Redskins and Chico's sweets will be changing. And most recently, Dixie Beer, New Orleans' oldest brewery, announced that it would be changing its name to shed any connotations of slavery.
Yeah. Now, the problem with Eskimo pies is that Eskimo itself is considered a derogatory term. You're not supposed to use the word Eskimo. So I guess I should stop saying it.
Yeah.
They're Inuit.
Yeah.
What else here?
Yeah.
I don't understand. I mean, I do, but I don't. Because obviously these things have been named this way for so long, and I've never heard anybody really complain. Like, honestly, I didn't know Mrs. Butterworth was black.
You didn't?
Apparently she was. No.
How did you not know that?
A syrup bottle. It was just a syrup bottle. I didn't.
Well, I didn't.
Syrup has no race. She was a woman made of syrup. I remember the cartoons or the commercials when I was growing up. So the bottle would come to life. She was a woman made of syrup. Syrup has no race.
Okay. I'm not going to get into why didn't you know it was Chiquita bananas. Really? They're thinking it's a hypersexual Latina is not a good stereotype for bananas. It's a banana. It's inherently sexual innuendo. You can't argue that.
That's it. Just embrace the suck. That's all there is to it. Because that's what's happening here.
But yeah.
It is a bit of a
small town
thing that I
close
was
to here.
expecting to happen.
Small town close to here has Bullets and BBs as their team name. Petition to change may be coming soon. You know what? I bet that's true. I bet in the wake of, I'm surprised it hadn't changed already in the school gun violence, wake. That they didn't change that name.
Yeah.
Just because I would have expected that to happen a while ago. But, well, it is what it is, unfortunately. So, let's see here. What else? But yeah, I don't know. It's weird. All that stuff's changing, and so I don't know. Stuff from our childhood will be just that. It'll be our childhood. We'll have to look back on and tell our kids, well, I remember when, and it won't just be you could, you rewound a cassette with a pencil, and they'll say, what's a cassette? By the way, did you know cassettes are coming back? Cassettes are a thing again, just like vinyl.
Yeah, that's been happening for several years now.
Why? Does anybody particularly like the hiss of a cassette? Does it bring some authenticity or some super special tone to the music?
Okay. Unless you want to have a 3-hour-long thing of talking about cassette technology, in which case, if you want to have that discussion, go on YouTube, watch Techmoan, and we'll see you in a couple of days when you're done watching videos.
No, be upset.
No. Because you can get albums. It's not just cassettes. There's guys.
If you say 8-tracks are coming back, I will fight.
No, I don't think there's any 8-track.
Reel to reel, Mike.
You can't get mini discs and that tapes.
Yeah, because we need those. I tell you what, let's get those in a head unit again for the car. Everybody needs mini tapes, mini cassettes, and DATs in their cars. All right. Let's talk.
So, real quick, this week, I'm experimenting.
Okay. What are we drinking?
Because last show, the Screwball peanut butter whiskey was so delicious.
Mm-hmm.
I have mixed that over ice with some Hound Dog chocolate flavored whiskey.
Ah, chocolate and peanut butter. Okay.
And I have the adult Reese cup here. Again, quite delicious. The chocolate by itself, not so much.
Mm-hmm.
With the Screwball, delicious.
Yeah. No, I like it.
I use some chocolate bitters as well. That helps.
I will have to investigate getting some.
There's a restaurant in Orlando, at Universal Orlando, called the Toothsome Chocolate Emporium and Tasty Feast Kitchen. But they have a bunch of chocolate-related cocktails, and a lot of the recipes are out there. So that is something to look at as far as finding recipe possibilities.
Speaking of drinking, Mike, do you know that there is now, from the Today Show, we get leading up to date, health news. They say now, according to medical researchers, that we should limit ourselves to 1 drink a day. And my question
is that...
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, is that a per average over a lifespan, or is that like literally like a use it or lose it type thing that, because I've got my entire childhood
to make up for?
Yeah.
Well, all I can do is I can tell you this. I had a friend whose mom was a nutritionalist, and she had recommended years ago the 1 drink a day. She said with the caveat that you cannot bank those all for the weekend.
That's just not right. There should be some kind of ratio, because even Weight Watchers gives you
points.
That you can bank to use throughout the week.
Yeah, I don't know what their problem is. I don't know. It's
That's going to have to be a discussion between you and your liver.
it's a discussion that usually involves the words, "I'll never do this again." To which the sane part of your head goes, "Yes, you will. Yes, you will."
All right, so so the one drink a day. Did they say why?
So, well, here's what's weird is I never heard anything other than one drink a day. But I guess about 5 years ago, they said that men should limit themselves to 2 drinks a day, which sounds great to me. Two drinks is fine. And that women should instead limit themselves to 1 drink a day because, we got to have a difference between men and women somehow. But that they said that advice has been in place since 1990, and this is a revision of it. And the committee of experts noted that there isn't adequate evidence to support different alcohol recommendations for men and women, and that research supports tightening the limit for men, saying that dietary guidelines aren't required to adopt the committee's recommendations. They say our collective health will be better if people generally drank less. Well, no. Our collective health would be better if we ate less and exercised more too. Why don't we just put that out there? But that's not going to happen.
Especially in COVID world.
Yeah, so the proposed advice shouldn't be interpreted to mean that not having a drink on Thursday means that you can have 2 on Friday. Towards your question, Mike. 1 drink is equivalent to about 1 12-ounce can of beer or a 5-ounce glass of wine or a shot of liquor. As we all know from health class, right? Those are all about equivalent. Now, what's interesting is the advice is based on links to the researchers observed between drinking habits and all causes of death, including heart disease, cancer, car accidents, rather than a specific physical harm that alcohol might have induced. So basically they're saying if you drink, you're more likely to die, period. End of story. Doesn't matter how.
It could just mean if you drink, your luck is worse, which lends itself to the theory of why casinos give away free alcohol when you're gambling.
Yeah.
So drinking brings bad luck.
Mm-hmm.
That explains why, guys go home or people go home with ugly people at the end of the night at the bar. That's drinking equals bad luck.
Yeah, poor decisions usually.
Now,
little men and regular women versus big women and regular men. We are not going to suggest any of those breakdowns. Oh,
especially and because the whole little. I didn't get past little men because right off the bat I'm thinking, what's the politically correct term?
Well,
person was.
Is she talking skinny or short or what's the dimensionality of little really? Because it could mean anything.
I'm thinking like the roll-offs on TLC or pretty much any of the families on TLC because it seems like they're all.
Well, except for the My 600-Pound, twin sister show. I mean, those wouldn't be little people.
Well, My 600-Pound Life and 19,000 Kids and Counting. That's different. I know, but
I mean, that's why alcohol makes poor choices. Is you end up with 16 kids and counting. But
that's the blessed way. But let's not go there because we don't talk religion on this show.
No. But we can say white people don't have rhythm. So, moving on.
And I think the official answer.
Yeah.
The official answer to the question you're just asking is nearly anything is okay as long as you don't use what they call the M word.
For drinking?
Okay.
All right.
So now while we're on the drinking topic.
Yeah.
Related to our show stream's title.
Yeah.
Can we? Now, we have known for a while that there is non-alcoholic beer out there. That's been out there for decades. You know, O'Doul's, and nobody really knew, or Near Beer, nobody really knew why it was out there, but it was, you know, for the people that were too young to drink but still wanted to taste beer. And the argument there is, you're just, nobody likes the taste of beer. Let's be perfectly clear about this. Beer is terrible, tastes terrible. It's an acquired taste. So, yes, you would want non-alcoholic beer for people to get hooked on it at a younger age. This way they become alcoholics. I get that. But I came across something on Amazon, no less, that is non-alcoholic whiskey, non-alcoholic gin, and non-alcoholic tequila. And I put it out there on my personal Facebook page. What the hell's the point? This is like, you know, nobody caught on to the fact I said this is like turkey bacon, no carb bagels, and gluten-free gluten. Nobody caught on to that third one.
Yeah. So
I challenge people to give me a reason. Mama Blair was the only one who gave me a reason why.
Yeah.
Apparently, you know, and to generally speak, if you have a medical reason that you cannot drink anymore, and I say anymore because nobody drinks like oak-barreled whiskey. Nobody drinks straight tequila for the taste. Nobody. No.
Well,
gin.
I
Go
drink.
ahead.
I enjoy the taste of my Irish single malt. I do.
Yeah, I like the taste
Did you
of
always?
Actually, it was. You have to understand though. I don't buy cheap stuff.
What you don't. What
I
you
don't
have to
care about
understand
the
is
alcohol.
They are. I'll admit. You know, it's. I've definitely. I agree with you on most things. Gin, rum, vodka. Those I cannot drink straight. The Irish whiskey, for some reason, that one goes down better than it goes down very well, and I like the taste of it. You know, more so than I like just drinking beer, because I'm not a beer person much anymore.
I like Scotch. If I could drink Scotch with no alcohol in it, that'd be great. Because I like the taste. I do not care about the alcohol.
see,
But
and y'all are weird.
But I would not
'Cause-
drink. But I don't think I'd drink unless they had perfected, and I mean perfected the taste. I don't think I would purposefully go out and buy an NA whiskey. You know, because whiskey's so super complex.
So
Yeah.
somebody tried
It'd probably be
to
correct.
justify it as it was placebo effect to help alcoholics stop drinking. To which I say that is complete and utter BS.
Yeah.
Because,
Yeah.
well, my grandfather was in AA for 30 plus years before he passed, and I pretty much know the program. And no, you stay away from anything that has the flavor of booze, quote unquote.
Yeah.
So don't try and get scientific with me, because that it ain't happening. You find me any recovery center that's saying, "Oh, you're an alcoholic, here, drink this non-alcoholic whiskey."
Yeah.
No,
No.
you know what an alcoholic's going to do? An alcoholic's going to dump half of that out and pour the regular whiskey in there, so that it looks like they're drinking non-alcoholic, but it's really alcohol.
Yeah.
Trust on that.
So here's one other good use case for these products. That is the designated driver. So instead of sitting around the bar with the others drinking a Coke, they have something that at least is along the right lines and flavors.
Except for,
Well-
a lot of bars will, if you tell them you're the DD and you actually, act like the DD, usually you're comped to your sodas. I don't see a bar comping you in NA whiskey,
So what I was going to say is, the couple of times that I was the designated driver for the night, I would order cranberry and club soda.
Yeah.
and it looks just like cranberry vodka.
Yeah, and for the
Shaggy's right.
ladies, there's
Most of the time, I don't think I ever paid for it. I was comped, so.
Yeah, and for the ladies, there's plenty of mocktails and things like that, or the guys who like that kind of thing. I mean, you know, it's not that hard to do a non-alcoholic drink, especially at a bar, you know, because they have all the alternatives there, you know. So yeah, it's not, and it's not like soda's the worst thing in the world, you know. Most people drink plenty of it.
Stupid sites. So I was just looking. So there is a relative explosion happening in non-alcoholic beers at the moment. They're a very popular category.
Well, and I'm sure there are. Just
but I got automatic ads instead.
Well, and I'm sure there are. Just like there was an explosion in the microbreweries, there's now an explosion in, you know, all kinds of different things. You know, there's different explosions.
The seltzers.
Yeah, the seltzers are going gangbusters right now, and you know.
You know it's bad when Budweiser jumps in on the seltzer game.
Yeah.
You know, Corona, they kind of had to.
They didn't have a choice.
They needed to diversify. There was no, because they got screwed with the name. Okay. Budweiser had no reason to start offering seltzer other than everybody else was doing it.
Well, yeah, they didn't want to lose out.
Bud Light seltzer. Yeah. Even Pabst Blue Ribbon said, "No, we're not going to do seltzer. We're going to do this chocolate milk that's alcoholic and call it coffee flavor." And damn, if that ain't the most delicious stuff you could buy in a can.
So
according to this, non-alcoholic beers is the fastest growing segment of the beer market. Budweiser projects that 1/5 of their global beer sales will be low to no alcohol brands by the end of 2025.
Great. Millennials kill beer. They kill alcohol.
Okay, so nicotine and alcohol enhance each other as well. So non-nicotine cigs and non-alcoholic booze, could that be a thing? No.
Well, let's see here. You're cool.
End that right now and say no.
You're cool if you smoke and drink. So if you drink non-alcoholic and you smoke non-cigarettes, then you're non-cool. So, you know, a not and a not don't produce a positive.
So of course, the biggest
cigarettes are. Non-nicotine cigarettes is either vaping or it's marijuana.
Non-alcoholic beers are very popular in the Middle East, where they just want the taste of beer but cannot drink alcohol.
No, nobody likes the taste of beer.
If nobody liked the taste of beer, then there wouldn't be any different brands of beer in the first place.
No, every single person I know started drinking beer because of peer pressure, because their older siblings, this is like a chicken and the egg argument, okay? Older siblings, parents all said beer was delicious. And it's the same thing. They started drinking it because their parents drank it. Nobody ever actually just takes a beer for the very first time and is like, this is delicious. No, it doesn't happen.
There's only one good non-nicotine cigarette, and even it sucks, and here it is. It's the only one. It's the only one that you're allowed to have.
So I would just say that there are certain people I know who their first sip of beer were like, "Ooh, can I have more of this? This is amazing." Yes,
those are weird people. Those are broken people. I never met anybody that drank beer and go, "Oh yeah, I like that." They all went, "Okay," and then somebody always follows it up with, "Well, it's an acquired taste. You'll learn to like it." And most of the time, I will say that it's the exact same thing with cigars. It's the exact same thing with hard liquor. You know, it's the exact same thing with coffee. You know, it's
I was going to say, it's standard coffee. and
no.
you have decaf.
See, no. Getting into the fruit flavored beers, that's cheating. It's like I drink non-alcoholic hard cider. Non-alcoholic hard cider. That's called cider.
Yeah.
That's what it is. You can buy it at BJ's. You can buy it at the grocery store.
You can buy it at the Apple Barn.
That's gonna be the next thing. Oh, there we go. That's what I'm gonna start selling at Christmas time, for the family events where you can't drink non-alcoholic cider.
It already exists.
Non-alcoholic cider.
It already exists.
Do not play with my emotions.
It already exists. The 5 best non-alcoholic cider alternatives.
Is that an American article or a UK article?
Which one?
Because what we call cider in the U.S. is not really that popular outside the U.S.
It's a UK article because the first thing on there is by Real Kombucha.
Yeah, but
no. See, now she's even a grapefruit flavored IPA. Oh God, Mama.
Well, it's the hops. I think it's the citrus.
I don't care. Oh God, IPAs is just. God, now I know when I come out there. When I come out there in 3 years, when everything finally settles down and we don't need passports and health certificates and shit to travel, when I come out there, it's BYOB. Because, man, listen, I ain't drinking. What have you got? What have you got to drink? Blah, blah, blah. We have a grapefruit IPA. Oh, Christ. I'll just die of thirst. That's okay. Thank you.
No, there is a wide
I
variety.
hate IPAs and I hate grapefruit. You just took 2 of the things that I can't stand in this world and mashed them together. Oh, God.
Nah, don't worry.
There's a wide variety of beers that are brewed by my brother-in-law, and only one of them is the grapefruit beer, and that's specifically for my mom.
Okay. It's hoppy. Exactly. I don't want to drink a loaf of bread.
Oh, I do. That's why I like Guinness.
Oh. Guinness is a whole other animal. That's like Guinness is silky smooth because of the nitrous and so talking about getting in on everybody else's business. Why Budweiser all of a sudden got to have Budweiser Nitro? Like that's going to make that piss water any more tolerable. Putting in instead of using CO2, you're going to use nitrous? No. But I'm going to try it. I got to find it. I'm going to try it. I went out trying to find because last week or at the All-Star race, the one car had a Busch Light Apple. I said, okay, it's gimmicky enough. I'll try it. I like apples. I said, go to 2 liquor stores. Nothing. Finally, I get back to the car, I look it up, and yeah, it's a limited release in only certain states. New Jersey ain't one of them. Why would you put that on the car that's being shown in a national event? During COVID. It's not like it's being sold in Pennsylvania and New York. I can't drive across the damn border to get it because of travelers, because I got Jersey plates. I can't go nowhere.
Well, you can go, but then you got to stay there for 2 weeks.
That's stupid.
Speaking of that, so I have torn down all of my planned trips for the year, and
my wife was asking if you were still going to Disney or not.
Not only am I not going to Disney, I have requested a refund on my annual pass.
Wow.
And canceled my. So I have no annual passes right now for Orlando, Florida, for the first time in I don't know how many years.
Wow, that's monumental.
And I took my DVC points for the rest of this year, and I put them up for rent.
Yeah. I had to figure out what to do because we've got a use it or lose it vacation policy. And so I had to, with time, and so I had to figure out what the heck I was going to do because I was slated to lose some time. And so I'm taking a staycation and taking time off so that I can move stuff from one shed to another once it gets finished next week.
And finish making concrete pavers.
Well, actually, we just bought the pavers, and we're going to use the concrete mixer to mix the steps that we need.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. But we did get about 6 pavers made out of the ones that we did. So, you know, that's good. So it definitely paid for itself. You know, like $12 is what it saved me. So, but, yeah. I don't know. The concrete pad in the backyard's done. I'm ready, and the shed's going up at the end of the week. I'm ready for it. Then I got to work on getting electricity ran out to it. And then all the security cameras go up so that I can have my compound view, you know. But I don't know. It's just something. But all right, what else we got on the plate here? Okay, so Mike, the inevitable happened, and Netflix has pissed you off again. They have renewed Space Force for season 2.
F. Tony.
So Steve Carell will get another season to show us what he can do. So what do we think? What do we think is going to happen?
I truly have no idea. At some point, they're going to have to show us the Chinese.
Well, we saw the Chinese towards the end of the last show. We just don't know what happened.
No, I'm talking about... At some point, we're going to have to see the monkey.
Oh.
I'm talking about those Chinese up there.
Yeah,
we're going to have to see the monkey.
know.
But... a lot of these shows that are coming back, I'm not happy about. Like Avenue 5. I don't understand why that's coming back. That to me, that was just terrible. The Umbrella Academy.
You love that
really?
one. You love that. You thought it was great.
Yeah, but you know what?
You raved about it.
The trailer for the second season looks terrible.
It does look terrible.
It looks absolutely terrible.
It looks like it could last about an hour and be done.
They're following a premise very similar to the past couple of weeks of the last season of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Okay, and I don't like that either.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what I'm disappointed about. They canceled Heart to Heart, so I've only got like 4 episodes left to watch of that, and then I'm out of episodes, so... But we should be getting the Orville soon, though, shouldn't we?
I have no idea.
You know, I keep seeing things.
I don't even care.
You don't even care. We like the Orville.
The Orville, yeah, but since it's on Hulu now,
well, it's on Hulu, but it should be on other things.
At what point do I... No, they sold us out. When is it coming back?
Season 3 is not booked yet? Huh. I don't have a starting date yet.
Well, ain't that some stuff? You know what?
Yeah.
If they don't bring a Laura back...
So
there's quite a few shows that I'm waiting to see, like Firefly. Can that come back? Can we remake that? They're remaking everything else. Can we remake Firefly with an all transgender and ethnic cast? Would that help get it to come back?
Season 3 is only going to have 11 episodes. Each episode will have 12 to 15 minutes more of airtime.
We're back to the Orville. Okay.
Orville, yeah. Yeah. But they had to suspend production in February due to coronavirus.
Of course they did.
And
it was originally planned for late 2020, early 2021. And since they're delayed, I think 2021 sounds more likely.
Yeah. It's going to suck. I don't know what's going to happen to television this year. Because I don't know how many shows are actually filming and going to be ready.
So I just found a list of hearing.
So, according to Mama Blair, wow, the closed captioning app for your podcast corrects your grammar. What if you don't want to be corrected? Wow, that's fun. Well, and I think it's Facebook is auto captioning for us, which is nice. So if we have any deaf listeners out there, please let us know. But I don't think everywhere captions us. But at least it's nice to know that we are accessible where we can be.
Whoa. What is this show with Mark Ruffalo twice?
Mark Ruffalo?
What's the name of the show?
I don't know. That's what I'm trying to... Like, the first picture in that article you just sent. That is 2 Mark Ruffalos in that picture, is it not?
I don't know.
Uh-oh, do we have a double Mark Ruffalo sighting? The picture I see is Rick and Morty, so that's definitely not Mark Ruffalo.
No.
Oh, yeah, okay. Hold on, I see what you're saying here. So if we look at here, if we zoom in a little bit, that definitely looks like 2 Mark Ruffalos. Looks like a duo of Ruffalo. But I don't... can't be 2 Mark Ruffalos.
Okay, let's see. Mark.
Yeah, he's playing twins.
He's playing twins?
Yeah, it was a show on HBO, which if I can get this... Do you want to subscribe to this newspaper site? I can try to figure out what the name of the show is.
I know this much is true. That's what it's called? That's not even listed in the May 2020 thing. Why is it show?
Well, thank goodness the Good Witch and the Real Housewives of Potomac are coming back. Don't know what we'd do without those.
It was May. That show premiered May 10th.
Oh.
Which is why it showed in the May segment.
Okay. Okay. I didn't scroll down far enough. Sorry.
Celebrity
Breakaway camp with Martha
celebrity
Stewart. Amy Schumer
substitute?
learns to cook. Can Amy, after everything that Amy Schumer has done, she hasn't been canceled yet.
My wife cannot stand the commercial for that show.
Apparently, there's another Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt movie, Kimmy versus the Reverend. Oh no, that came out. That's the one that's choose your own adventure, which I would love to say we need to review that, but I have no idea how the hell we would do it and then see what.
Or we'd have to do a watch party and all 3 of us watch and make the same decisions.
Oh, ooh. We could. Oh, wow. You really just tried to.
Cash Cab season 14 is coming back. I like Cash Cab.
That came on the other day. My wife was like, "That show's still going?" I said, "Yeah, it is."
Yeah, it's fun. BattleBots season 5. I didn't know they were still going. Which, by the way, was anybody else extremely... I know we haven't brought up celebrity deaths in a while, but was anybody else bummed about Grant Imahara?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
that guy at work who himself is 49, he's like, man, Grant died. He's 49. I'm 49. And I'm like, yeah. And I said, because at the time, not everybody was saying what the cause of death was. And I said, yeah, it was a brain aneurysm. There's not much you can do about that.
Yeah. And I just thought when I read that he died of a brain aneurysm, I thought, well, there was a guy at work that his wife died on the toilet of a brain aneurysm. And I'm like, ooh, okay, well, that's two people that I know of. I don't know them, but I know of them, both. And I'm like, if that happened to me, where would I be? Because with my migraines and everything, that actually enters into my head quite a bit, thinking about it. And I'm like, would I be in the car? Would I be in bed? Would I be, on the toilet? What embarrassing spot would I be at when it happened? If that were to happen.
Yeah, so, I don't like to think about it because that's one of those things that even if there's nothing you can do.
No.
9 times out of 10, there's nothing you can do, and there's no real way to find it. But
no.
Oh, okay. August 2nd, Taskmaster, which I know you two didn't like, but Taskmaster, the original UK series, is actually coming to the CW. And if I just read, it's the original show. They're not doing yet another US version of the show. So for those who have never seen Taskmaster, August 2nd, the CW, I recommend it. The other two don't.
Okay, here's one. DC Stargirl. Has anybody watched this other than me?
I have not yet.
Colin, have you watched it?
No.
Okay. So far, it's not too bad. Now, I'll admit I'm several episodes behind, but not too bad. Let's see here. Love Island Season 2.
So, as far as shows that came back that I've been watching, I've been watching the 100, which is in its final season. I'm waiting patiently for the season finale of Walking Dead to come back, which I think is coming next month, and I don't know what the hell they're going to do. I did hear that there is a prequel for the 100 that is being floated, but a lot of this stuff, like, Colin, you bring up a good point. Like, they're airing the British version, which had previously aired in America.
Mm-hmm.
So I wonder how much of that crossover is going to start happening. We're seeing a lot of shows now doing like best of. Has anybody watched Dirty Jobs? Like the road trip.
I have it on my DVR. I have not watched it yet.
It really is a best of show, is what it is. Because they don't really do much as far as new content. It's them riding around talking about old content based on a theme.
Yeah.
But it's good to see. Barsky lost a lot of weight. It's good to see the original guys come back here.
Yeah, and I had heard that, they're going to shoot at least a few new regular Dirty Job episodes. At least that's the plan.
Yeah, so New York City just announced that they're moving into their phase 4, which is going to allow TV production and movie production to start again in New York.
Okay.
So you're going to start seeing this stuff open back up. I know Tyler Perry apparently put some of the cast and crew of his shows in a bubble, so to speak, so that they could start filming again.
Yeah.
And I think you're going to start seeing more of that. So some of these shows are going to start coming back. A show like Rick and Morty, I'm not surprised that came back and will probably keep going. Animated shows are probably the easiest to keep going.
Well, yeah, they can all work in isolation anyway.
Yeah,
for the most part, and collaborate on platform and everything else. So, yeah, I don't doubt that those types of shows, and we've seen it. I mean, if you watch any of the, like, I've watched Cooking Channel quite a bit, and I mean they're doing shows from home and things like that, and other places are too. They're trying to be like us, really, not as successful at it as we are, but they're trying to pull together resources and do cross, of course. And what's funny is they have so much more money at it than we do, and they can't pull it off as successfully. But it's interesting to see what they do, and sometimes you can even get a glimpse into what technology they use. And I find the behind the scenes stuff is pretty interesting. So I mean, but we've seen it with Conan and with everybody else trying to run their shows from home, and how well it works or doesn't work.
Mama Blair kind of agrees with you. Stargirl is okay. How about Snowpiercer? Did you guys watch that?
No, that was one of those where I watched the movie and I think that's good enough. I don't understand how they can keep going on a television show for very long, especially since I already know the end. Those TV shows based off of movies, I don't know that there's going to be a whole lot different that I can really get out of it.
Oh, there is. Oh, yeah, there is. Colin, did you say yes or no?
I had not seen it, planning on it.
Okay. Let's just say that the way it ended completely, pun intended, completely goes off the rails from the movie.
Okay.
All right. So I would say give it a shot. The ending and the fact that it's coming back for a second season, the ending makes it was very fitting. And I'll leave it at that.
Okay.
So with everything else going on, we have not talked about any of our usual remake rumors.
No.
But so the one that did come up, and I think we will all agree that if it happens, we need to fight someone, is Fletch.
Yeah. I agree. We definitely need to fight someone.
I'm split on it.
Well, okay, let me put it this way. It was horrible. It was not a good movie to begin with.
Mm-hmm.
I did not really enjoy it to begin with. But to try and remake any Chevy Chase movie is just asking for disappointment and condemnation from a huge swath of people.
Well, that's the question. Is it a remake of the Chevy Chase movie, or is it a separate attempt to make a Fletch movie? Because Fletch is a series first.
A new film based on the Fletch novels.
Yes.
Right. And so I know from past reading about this that the Chevy Chase movies were considered not very close to the original source material.
Okay.
So if they're doing a different attempt at the books, and hopefully don't even look at the Chevy Chase movies, then it might be okay.
Okay. Fair enough.
It wouldn't be nearly as bad as trying to remake National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, for example, which would be nearly as bad as Princess Bride.
The one thing that I think most of my circle of friends on Facebook can agree upon is if they do a remake of The Princess Bride, the only way it should be allowed is if Paul Rudd plays Wesley. Because apparently he was the standout in the at-home remake edition.
Everybody was a standout in the at-home edition. It was very, very good. Well worth signing up for the free usage period.
So
it was very, very participation trophy of you. Everyone was a standout. Everyone was an MVP. Everyone gets a trophy. God.
Well, I'm going to say more, but then I got stuck. Patton. There's a couple. The ones I liked the most were the ones who were doing Wallace Shawn. Some of them who were doing Wallace Shawn were doing a really good job of it. Those are the parts I enjoyed the most. I've only seen the first half, so I haven't the Billy Crystal impression yet.
Okay, so without ruining it, I saw like a highlight reel, like I guess which was a commercial for it, and the very end. Oh, my heart.
Yeah.
The very
I think that was
last
recorded
scene.
like 2 days. Yeah. I think it was like recorded 2 or 3 days before. So, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, we're purposely not saying more about it.
The whole thing worth it.
All right.
So, Shaggy, do we want to talk, see if maybe any of these 33 worst sitcoms are ripe for a remake?
I just brought it up. So there was a list from The Wrap of the 33 worst sitcoms of all time, and I want to pose it to our group. One, was it a bad sitcom? Okay, which I think most of our answers are going to agree, bad sitcom. Two, is it worthy of a remake to try and make it a good sitcom? Okay, because we've seen sitcoms rebooted or restarted or gone off on again. So let's start up. So My Mother, the Car. I never watched it. I can't imagine that it would ever be good. So I'm just going to say no and no. It wasn't good and it doesn't deserve a remake.
Maybe it's a Twilight Zone episode.
Okay. The Ropers, a spinoff of Three's Company. No and no.
I think it was a spinoff of Three's Company first. A remake of Three's Company. And then maybe if that's good, then maybe that would be a good idea.
Joni Loves Chachi, a spinoff of Happy Days.
Again,
okay, so
you have to have yeah.
After MASH.
How many of these are spin-offs? I just realized this.
Well, I don't know quite yet. Okay, Mama's Family. Now, I don't think.
I can say after MASH. MASH itself should never and could never be remade. So therefore, After MASH could also never be remade.
No. Okay, Mama's Family. What do we think? Was Mama's Family a bad show?
I didn't think so, and I thought it was a spinoff.
Yeah,
it was.
Yeah, I think it's a Mary Tyler Moore spinoff, right?
No, it's the Carol Burnett show.
Okay, Carol Burnett. I knew it was one of those two. I thought it was decent. It's an incredible cast. Let's put it that way. I don't know why it's. Yes, definitely shows its age. You could not show it today, but I didn't think it was that bad. I don't think it deserves to be remade. It would just look horrible. Yeah.
Although if they did remake it, they could just have the same. Vicki Lawrence could still do it because now she's just older. She needs less makeup.
True.
I didn't even know this one existed. Ferris Bueller, the TV show.
Yeah.
No. And it actually had Jennifer Aniston in it.
Yeah, it's Jennifer Aniston played Sloane.
Another one I didn't remember. Harry and the Hendersons.
Yeah,
I remember it.
No.
And don't do it.
It lasted for 2 years?
Here's one. George, starring George Foreman. No. We got enough of those. We got enough. Big fan. Homeboys in Outer Space. You couldn't do this today. No way. It was the Marlon Brothers, but there's still no way you could do that today. The Secret Diary of Desmond Pfeiffer. I don't remember. I don't know.
Yes, it is. I think it is. I happen to remember looking at his list recently of, I think it was something like he was a butler in the White House or something like
that. Yes, dear, from 2000 to 2006. It got 6 years. It couldn't have been that horrible.
I remember that show, and I thought it was a great show.
Yeah, thought.
Coupling the American version. Well, obviously, if it was an English original came over here, it's not going to be as good.
Well, see, this is the problem when you put something through a copying machine too much. Because first he had Friends, and then they cloned Friends to make Coupling, and then they cloned Coupling back to the U.S.
Oh, wait a second. Is the guy on the far right in this article, is that the guy that went on to play in Eureka?
Yep.
I thought so.
Yeah.
And the girl next to him is Jamie Oliver's wife.
Oh, okay. Well, so 2 of them were still successful. The rest of them, probably in, who knows. My Big Fat Greek Life.
No. That was an attempt to try and capitalize on the success of the movie.
Right. And if I remember right, even the sequel wasn't that great. My Life in Ruins or something?
Yeah.
No. My Big Fat Greek Wedding, and then it was... No, the sequel was...
I don't know. She starred in My Life in Ruins, which I thought was the sequel, but maybe it wasn't. Okay. All right. Next one is...
My
was
Big Fat Greek Wedding 2
was
actually...
was the sequel. Imagine that. They just went with something simple. Joey from 2004 to 2006. Friends spinoff. We knew it was damaged from the beginning. Emily's Reasons Why... Yeah, go ahead.
Interesting story about Joey. I think Matt LeBlanc even knew that it was going to be terrible, but they offered him an absurd amount of money to do it.
Yeah.
And he said, yeah, and he knew it was terrible, but...
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Emily's Reasons Why Not.
I didn't even know this was a show.
Yeah.
I think it lasted a couple episodes.
Yeah, I think it was really short. S. My Dad Says, starring William Shatner.
Yeah, that was the first attempt to turn a popular Twitter handle into a TV show.
The Hard Times of
The guy got funny,
The Hard Times of R.J. Berger. Never heard of it.
Nope.
The Paul Reiser Show from 2011. That was his. That was supposed to be his comeback after Mad About You, ended.
I love the fact that Donald Trump's poster is in the background of that picture.
Now here's one.
Oh, because that's the producer there of The Apprentice.
Here's one that I thought it was wildly successful. Two Broke Girls from 2011 to 2017. I thought that had a huge following.
I thought it was a great show until they weren't broke anymore.
Everybody
knew the show was going to be canceled when they weren't broke.
Yeah, my daughter watched that, and I thought that it was a quirky buddy, show. Next one, Are You There, Chelsea? I never watched it. Next one, Rob, with Rob Schneider. We could have seen that one. That wasn't going to work out.
Rob Schneider is famously useless.
1600 Pen. No.
No
Work.
I'm pretty sure. They've done that.
Now, what's funny? This next one, Work It, which was, it seems to me, it's a spin-off or a remake of Bosom Buddies, but poorly executed.
Yes. And I think the blurb here is correct. The reason it was poorly executed was it didn't have Tom Hanks and Peter Scolari in it.
Yeah. Next one, everybody knew was going to suck, because you can't have one made off of an advertising, gimmick, which is Cavemen.
Maybe the Gecko could have a good TV show, but not the Caveman.
Nah, neither, thanks. Dads from 2013 to 14. Now, I only saw a couple episodes of that, but I thought it was actually pretty good. So, I don't know. I have got it on the DVR, and I'll watch it when I have time to see if it was actually any good or not. The Millers. It ran for a couple years. They said
it looked terrible, just terribly average, which tells me that they were just trying to fill it in with more things on the list.
Bad Judge. Don't remember that show. Mulaney. Don't remember that show. Angel from Hell. It was yanked
I
after
seem
5
to remember-
episodes.
I seem to remember the advertisements for this, and this was when Jane Lynch was trying to rework her Glee character.
Yeah.
This was supposed to be the next thing after Glee for her.
Yeah.
Next one, The Great Indoors. That's Joe McHale's.
Yeah, I remember that.
I remember that show.
Yeah, it was a joke about millennials over and over again.
Imaginary Mary. Never heard of it.
Wow, Jenna Elfman, her second appearance on this list. She is not. No, could we remake Dharma and Greg while we're at it?
9 JKL. No idea.
I do not remember that at all.
And then
I
Living.
vaguely remember it only because Alice and Elliot Gould were in it.
And then the last on the list is a show called Living Biblically.
Yeah, that was a show that had absolutely no chance on it because it was like a show making fun of religion, and that just you're knocking way too much of your audience out just from the very start.
Well, what's great is
When
if you read the comments, everybody goes, wait a second, I agree with most of this list, but Mama's Family is far better than everything else and doesn't deserve to be included.
I agree.
Oh.
So I think we came to the conclusion that pretty much none of them should be remade.
No, none of them should be remade, but we don't understand how some of them are on this list.
Yeah, some should not be remade because they should not be remade. Some of them should not be remade because they were terrible and nothing can fix that. A bunch on the list we can't say. I mean, they're just about a single person, like Rob. It's like, well, I guess Rob Schneider could try to make another show, in which case, okay. Or John Mulaney, or, you know, it's just like, but a lot of these are just like, no. Should not have been made in the first place.
Yep. All right. So let's see here. We got time for one more article before we get into our double feature movie review, which if you're not familiar with the show or this is your first time listening, during the last half hour of the show, we pick 2 movies at random and we do a movie review on them as Siskel and Ebert style, kind of, to let you know whether what's good in watching and whether Netflix and Amazon actually know what we should be watching or whether they don't. So let's go over... let's see here. Mike, should we talk about the post office?
Sure, why not?
Okay, so the Postmaster General, who I don't know if I believe they deserve this position or not within the Postmaster Army, has told postal workers to leave mail behind if it slows down their route, and to leave mail out if it is going to slow down their delivery time. Because overtime is killing the post office during a time at which they are mailing more packages than ever before, thanks to us all being at home. The post office is evidently bleeding money, and will have to shut down yet again unless they get more money in from Congress to stay open.
Now, okay, we can't go too deep into this because then it gets too political, since the Postmaster General was just put in there by Trump. But I can say we have had experience recently where we had packages delivered by the post office a couple hours before the mail, because as they explained to us when they delivered it, the packages had to be delivered before 8.
Well,
but the regular mail could be delivered after that.
I drove into my subdivision the other day and saw no less than 4 mail trucks on my drive from the front of the subdivision to my house, which is what, Colin? You'd say 8 blocks?
Yeah, something all right. Yeah.
Why do we need 4 mail trucks for that?
Packages.
I
mean,
know, but why do we
all
need
the- I mean-
four different drivers?
Well,
Four different trucks.
I need one mail truck today to deliver my mail, and I guess I needed other mail trucks for everybody else's mail.
But UPS doesn't send multiple trucks to my subdivision. Or if they do, it's one in the morning and one in the afternoon. You know?
I think what okay, so 4, I can't justify that.
At the
But
same time.
I have seen 2 in our subdivision at the same time. One is doing all the package deliveries and pickups.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas the other is just delivering the mail.
Right. I could live with
Now,
that.
if you have a package delivery or a pickup, a lot of times your mail gets handled by that person since they're stopping anyway.
Mm-hmm.
But
4 just seemed a bit excessive to me.
Well, now if you had during the Christmas season, because of the business, there are times where our mailman comes to us first.
Mm-hmm.
Regardless of everything else, he comes to us first because we may have 15, 20 packages for him to pick up.
Right.
So he'll come to us, he'll pick those up, or he'll come to us, and a couple of times he said, I'll come back at the end of the route and pick them up because I don't have room on the truck right now. Okay, no problem. So if you have a lot of businesses like that, maybe you need multiple.
Right, but
here's my thing. It could be smart. Like, I don't agree with just not delivering mail. I think they need to divide work a little better. I understand, and this has been a long-standing theory of mine with a lot of jobs, that, oh, yeah, okay, so your job has a base salary of $36,000 a year. How the hell are you pulling home $100,000? It's because you're working so much overtime every week.
Yeah.
At that point, hire a couple more people instead of paying one person overtime.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's kind of where they're going with this.
Well, and what they say is mail carriers are being told to leave mail behind at distribution centers rather than taking extra trips, late trips, or logging overtime, according to memos first reported. The Postal Service is on financial shaky ground because of the coronavirus pandemic, and Business Insiders previously reported it may run out of cash by the end of September. Now, the details of the memo actually say DeJoy, who is the Postmaster General, said, instruct workers to stop logging overtime and leave mail at distribution centers if it would delay their routes. If the plants run late, they will keep the mail for the next day. One of the documents says, if you get mail late and your carriers are gone and you cannot get the mail out without overtime, it will remain for the next day. So, and this actually flies against the tradition of the post office. Okay, this flies against everything that they've been doing before, up to this point, which is items are delivered promptly, even if that means making multiple trips. So, and where this comes into play is, I used to do those prepackaged meal things, right? Home Fresh or whatever it is, meals to go. Those came by the USPS. Now, those are only good for so long in the box, right? The freezer packs that they send with them are only good for so long. If you start implementing things like this, which says, hey, listen, if it's running late, just leave it till tomorrow, suddenly now you're delivering damaged goods, okay? Expired goods, because those things can't wait further than what you guaranteed to deliver them by. And that's what they enter into, is contracts with companies to deliver by a certain date for certain things, right? So if they don't fulfill their contracts to deliver in time, then it's only going to end up costing them more money in the long run, because they get charged for that, for not fulfilling the contract value. And not only that, but now the company that I worked with, Home Fresh or whoever, they have to eat some cost as well to re-fulfill the order. So that drives up the consumer's cost. This is all just, it's a huge trickle-down effect of how poor this service is. And, when it comes down to it, we're already not getting great service from USPS. And I'm not complaining necessarily to the direct delivery drivers. I know it's not all your fault. There's a lot of links in the chain here. So if you're a postal carrier, this isn't aimed squarely at you. But, I don't like it when Amazon tracking shows that my delivery from FedEx or UPS was turned over to USPS for final destination. Because usually that means my delivery is going to take an extra 2 or 3 days to actually get to me, just simply because that's the way it is. I don't know if you guys have experienced the same thing or not, but that's usually the way it works for me, is when they lose tracking of it, it takes at least another day or two to get to me.
It depends. If it's coming from Amazon, it usually comes direct. When it's coming from just like Smart Post, then I watched that package go all around the country before it finally gets to me, because internally UPS and FedEx route those things just whatever truck is available. No. But I will say I'm always very happy when I see a tracking notification from UPS that says, hey, we had this package, and since we're already going to be in the neighborhood anyway, we're just going to deliver it directly. And I'm like, awesome.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's just...
I guess this is where I'm spoiled living where I'm at, because most of my Amazon stuff is delivered by Amazon.
Yeah.
Because we have all that local delivery stuff here.
Yeah.
UPS and FedEx both have hubs. What's that?
Amazon actually shut some of that down. They went because in some cities that they were starting that up with the whole COVID thing, they realized that they couldn't keep up themselves.
Yeah, these are all contractors, I guess.
Yeah, third-party operators, basically.
It's not the blue Amazon trucks. But UPS and FedEx both have a depot with 10 minutes away from us. So I'm in kind of a prime area, so I don't really have an issue with any of the shipping, except maybe DHL.
Oh my God! If it's DHL, I just break out the Ouija board to see whether it's actually going to arrive or not, because it's just as reliable. Yeah, After they ran a forklift tine through the tape drive, through the $3,000 tape drive, and then covered it with packing tape and said, "We don't know what happened." That was when I lost all confidence in DHL. So, not my favorite carrier, that's for sure.
All right, Mama Blair is saying, many hands make it easy. So maybe all four of them just kind of got together and said, "Look, we're all going to help each other with our routes off, so we can get done faster."
Maybe.
Yeah. What time was that?
That was about I don't know, 3:30, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So
I'm getting the idea that the local post offices have been having some people quit on them, because some of the people delivering don't have the correct USPS clothing. They look like they're secretaries, and they're basically said, "Here's a truck, go." Because they're definitely not dressed for postal work.
Yeah. All right. Let's see here. Are we ready for the movie review?
Yes.
All right.
Why not?
Mike, you want to give people a heads up again, just in case somebody new's listening all of a sudden, for what in the heck we do here?
We're sadistic at heart. We go out there and we watch bad movies. Why? Because we're trying to find the diamond in the rough so that you can be entertained. You can be entertained by our pain from having to watch these pieces of crap, or you can be entertained by listening to us and saying, wow, I never would have thought to watch that movie if PTR Radio hadn't told me to. And tonight, we have two, well, I don't know how we're going to rate these, but we have a movie, Hit and Run, which has a virtual all-star cast, and Line of Duty, which is an Aaron Eckhart film. And I don't know anybody else really that was in it. That's not entirely true, but...
Yep. All right, so which one do we want to start with?
I truly do not care.
All right, well, let's start in the order that I watched them. Let's start with Hit and Run. And I will...
So I have a question real quick before you go to... I have taken it upon myself, because I can't decide. I just watch them in alphabetical order now.
Okay.
I don't look at what they're about. I watch the titles in alphabetical order.
Okay. I watch them in order of what is my wife going to like. Because she always wants to, she is interested in what we have assigned to us. And every time the question is asked, well, who picked that? Or why do you guys pick this stuff? And, because even though I tell her every time, I have to re-describe that we don't pick these. These are picked for us, and then a random number generator picks which ones a particular week we watch. But, and she always says, well, why can't you pick anything good? I'm like, well, that's what we're trying to find. So I thought, well, we'll start out with a comedy, because the likelihood is she'll like the comedy more so than she'll like the Line of Fire movie. So we ended up watching both of them, but Hit and Run was first to kind of get her feel on how it was going to be. So, with that said, Hit and Run. So Hit and Run is an interesting movie. All right. Kristen Bell, Dax Shepard. So I read those two names, and Tom Arnold, interestingly enough. I thought, oh, comedy. This should be fun. Watch. Oh, a little funny. Watch, little funny. Okay, interesting. Little funny. What the hell? Is that Bradley Cooper? No, that can't be Bradley Cooper. Looks like Bradley Cooper, though. No, he couldn't afford Bradley Cooper. Bradley Cooper wouldn't play this part. This is a dumb Dax Shepard movie. Dax Shepard was in Chips. He wouldn't get Bradley Cooper in his movie? That's insane. On my phone. God damn it, that's Bradley Cooper. Then my wife, who's Bradley Cooper? I'm like, what? How do you not know who Bradley Cooper is? He's dreamy. And she goes, well, his hair is stupid. I said, well, I agree to that. But still, it's Bradley Cooper. And then and then I go, wonder who else is going to be in this movie. And we watch for a while longer. And she goes, I thought you said this was a comedy. There's nothing funny about this. This is just dumb. And then a couple other lines. She doesn't find anything funny about Prowler or Pouncer or whatever in the hell it is, because they don't want to say the word grinder. And then she goes, Tom Arnold really has a problem with his gun, doesn't he? And she goes, that car's about ready to fall apart. That looks worse than Buford Justice's car in The Bandit. And so, honestly, I thought it was a fairly funny movie. There were a couple of really funny parts, but nothing really like super laugh out loud funny. But a few of them. I thought it was an entertaining movie. And then all of a sudden she goes, oh, that's Beau Bridges. I know who he is. I'm like, that's who you know who's in the movie? Is that? She goes, well, yeah, he's in Hallmark movies. Of course he is. So yeah, if you want to be on my wife's radar for being in a movie and be a big-time star to her, star in a couple of Hallmark movies, specifically Christmas ones. But because of that, she liked the movie. She liked that Beau Bridges didn't stop beating the man once he was unconscious in the field. All right? And then she wondered how much that dune buggy thing cost because she thinks it looked fun. And I said, I can buy a dune buggy now because she thinks it looks fun. I don't have anywhere to drive it, and I don't have anything that can haul it, but I sure want one because they do look fun.
Says the man who bought a cement mixer.
So, I'm sure I can figure out how to haul a small garden trailer with it, and it can be useful in my yard. But regardless, it looks fun. So I actually enjoyed this movie. I am going to give this a smile. All right. Colin, you're up next.
So this is an interesting movie because I did some reading on it. And it was basically Dax Shepard wanting to get Smokey and the Bandit out of the system. So this is his Smokey and the Bandit movie, which is interesting that you brought up Boss Hogg's car, because I think that was actually the point, is that was Boss Hogg's car. Not Boss Hogg. Sheriff, yes. Sorry, Dukes of Hazzard was stuck in my head at the same time, too. And I was trying really hard not to say Dukes of Hazzard, but I still said Boss Hogg. I found it really interesting. So Kristen Bell and Dax Shepard were engaged at the time. They'd been together for a long time, but they couldn't get married because, well, see, here's the thing. I think a lot of the dialogue in this movie between those two characters, between Annie Bean and Yul Perkins, a.k.a. Charles Bronson, is very similar to actual dialogue between the two of them in real life. So I looked up and I said, okay, they'd been engaged for many years, but they couldn't get married because they decided they could not get married until gay marriage was also legalized. So once gay marriage was legalized, then they could get married. And I think a lot of the dialogue between the characters is very much within that same vein. But I think that's why I liked this movie, because it really felt like an actual couple talking. It's like, this is how those two real people probably do talk to each other on a daily basis. A lot of the other people in the movie are overacting and kind of bring the movie down a little bit. We had a terrible reaction to a scene with Bradley Cooper that we're like looking at going, really? You guys thought it was a good idea to have the character put a dog collar around a black guy and then drag him off like a noose? No one thought, oh, maybe that's something we shouldn't do. Because that part was like, just that part really was like I'm going, no. But except for that one piece, yeah, it gets a smile from me as well.
All right. And Mike.
Oh, Lord. So what in the blue hell are we seeing in the beginning here? I mean, is this some hippie BS thing happening where they're in the bed? Or did he just propose? But there's no ring. No. So right off the bat, I'm confused. Christian Chenoweth saying, Xanax in a bottle of beer supercharges it. Wow. That's some life advice right there. I want to know what the hell kind of U.S. Marshal drives a Dodge Grand Caravan minivan. Now here's a word that, or a phrase that would never fly in today's world, and I'm sure this is one that Dax Shepard regrets writing. Nitrous is for fags. This got cubic inches. Yep, and I'm glad she's beating the hell out of him for saying that word, for using that word in that manner. Tom Arnold's gun shooting itself in the back of the van. That is a typical Tom Arnold character move. I think we've seen that in just about every other Tom Arnold movie. This is now turning into a stupid road trip movie that I am going to hate by the time we get to the end. Mark my words. She did not throw up in the car during... Wait, Wait, didn't she throw up in the car during the whole airfield drifting scene? I'm pretty sure there was a part where she threw up in the car, but they're still just rolling along like nothing happened. Did I miss something? I thought she threw up. And after all of this time that I'm sitting here watching this shit show of a movie, the Dune buggy has Primate Racing on the side. Son of a bitch. Now I got to give this movie a shnikes. Nope. Not giving this a shnikes. This movie's getting a verp from me. Ooh. I don't know why, but there was just something about this movie I did not like. It might have been the lack of chemistry between the characters, which is stupid considering Kristen Bell and Dak Shepard were a couple in real life, or the forced story behind this. But the whole time I'm watching this, I just wanted to punch people in their damn face. So yeah, verp. Anti-cobbler.
Not quite. It didn't get shnikes from us. So, it wasn't quite as bad, but yeah.
I was going to say, there was a scene in that movie, because I was watching it with my parents, and we're like, oh, hey, Shaggy's going to be happy he got his nudity.
Oh, the old people. Yeah. I did laugh my ass off at that.
Oh,
I thought it was hilarious. So, all right. Next up, Line of Fire. That's not the
Line of Duty.
Line of Duty. Sorry. No wonder it's the wrong damn movie that I have here. How's it at? Line of Duty. Come on. Where the hell are you? I don't actually want to watch the trailer. I just want to watch the damn movie. There it is. All right. Boy, this thing's got so many different box arts on it. Okay. Line of Duty. A disgraced cop finds himself in a race against time to find a kidnapped victim whose abductor he accidentally killed. That's IMDb's description. There's not really an accidental to it. It was more of like a suicide by cop. Aaron Eckhart plays the lead character in this, named Officer Frank Penny, who has had a bad time before. And you learn later on in the show why. You go through most of the show just knowing that he killed a kid. And you think, okay, well, is this like a lethal weapon situation where the kid had a gun? And I'm not going to tell you whether it is or it isn't, but, that's what you're kind of led to believe from the story. And I mean, just trying to fill it in yourself, right? And I have to say, the beginning of this movie, a little bit slow. All right, just a little bit, honestly, slow. Watching him get up before his alarm, wait for his alarm, work out, make breakfast, play with the kid on the side of the street. At first, I thought maybe he was a disgraced cop from the beginning, and he just got dressed up in fake cop uniform and just got drunk on the side of a convenience store. I wasn't sure what was going on at the very beginning because he was slouched down like a homeless person. But then you find out that then he shoots the guy. It turns out that the guy had kidnapped the police chief's daughter, was holding her hostage, and was planning to kill her. And and then now he killed the only lead, and so now he's got to make it right, but he's got to go against the system because now he's been had his badge and his gun taken away. Although interestingly enough, the cop only asked for his gun, not for his badge, which is a bit weird. He should have asked for both. He should have said, put your badge and the gun on the table. I mean, that's what the police chief always says, right? I need your badge and your gun. He just said, give me your gun. All right, get the lines right. Come on, if you're going to write a story, write a story. It's always, give me your badge, give me your gun. That's what you ask for, which is kind of dumb because most cops would have more than one gun anyway. It's really redundant to ask for the gun because he's got another one. Probably doesn't have a second badge, though. Then you end up with the viral reporter, who evidently has batteries made by Tesla, all right? Because these batteries on her camera and her phone are broadcasting live all day, all right? All damn day. she's doing this and you know, and the 5G and the LTE and the roaming charges and the flip back and the geocyral, you know, stabilizer camera thingy. And I mean, no, like 15% battery, your phone's going down to reduce capacity, none of that stuff. I mean, I can't get that on my phone. My phone, if I stream for like 10 minutes, I'm on 15%, time to charge. You know, so I don't know where she's getting them. Elon Musk must be her boyfriend or something. I'm not sure. But anyway, her and ZO12X baby or whatever, you know, decide to tag along to see this disgraced cop, Frank Penny, try and save the day and find the girl. And meanwhile, and then they get caught up in a crossfire gunfight, and she throws up before she goes to hide, which to me was a bit ridiculous. Gunfire everywhere. You're going to stop, bend over, throw up, and then be pulled someplace to hide? Seems a bit odd. I'd have hid first, then puked my guts out. All right, order of precedence here is what's important, really. And, you know, after all that, then they go to the bad man's house, and he obviously did not get a degree in explosions because it wasn't very big, it wasn't very good. It just lit the whole damn place on fire. Not going to tell you how it ends. You'll figure that out yourself. Let me just tell you, there's a little bit of a Saw involved. A Saw theme and a togetherness theme, and, you know, yay, flowers and guns, protests, everything hunky-dory fine. I will say, the news anchor director lady, bitch. All right, that's, my wife and I had the same opinion. All right, newsroom lady that went to add more stuff to the blurb on the news roll after they find out who Frank Penny really is. She a hoe. All right, she deserved to be fired. Overall, after reading the Amazon reviews for this film, everybody seemed to hate it. They said that Aaron Eckhart did a good job, but everybody else was pretty wooden and did a crappy job of acting. I didn't think so. I thought they did okay. The girl's a millennial actress. You know, I'll give her a little bit of a break. I thought she did okay. So, with that said, I'm going to go, again, another smile. Both my wife and I kind of liked this one. We didn't think it was too bad. And the benefit is, it kept my wife's attention so I didn't have to repeat what was going on so often. So that's usually a good sign. There you go. Smile. All right. Colin, your turn.
So, he was disgraced beforehand because he shot a kid the year before.
Yeah.
So, actually, the parts that you said were slow were the parts I liked. Him and the kid, I thought that was cool. You know, just standing on the side of the road, policeman talking to a black kid, you know, doing the neighborhood cop thing. Excellent. I'm not going to repeat it because Shaggy kind of said everything about the actual main plot. So I will talk about the plot that I didn't like. Okay? And that is, as he mentioned, there is this character of a news anchor woman, news director. I don't know exactly what she was. I don't know why it was there. Because they spent so much time of this movie on her. I was like, okay, maybe because the Aaron Eckhart character is talking about how he didn't like the press because the press basically treated him badly after the shooting incident from the previous year, and they kind of made things up, and yeah. So I was like, well, maybe this woman, this is the one who actually did it to him. She doesn't even remember it. But after she got reminded on who he was, she's like, oh, yeah, that guy. And it's like, well, maybe she's the one who, you know, is responsible for his being in disgrace. And maybe she was going to do something that, you know, was going to be actually involved in the plot. And then, you know, things would go wrong and, you know, she would get her comeuppance. But instead, they said, oh, here's our exclusive, and we're going to send this helicopter in, and it's going to be our exclusive. And it was their exclusive, and they got their footage that they wanted, and they managed to use this other woman's streaming stuff to actually make good television, and it came out ahead. And I was just watching going, what? Where's the point? Where's the comeuppance? Where's the helicopter blows up and now she looks really bad because she got her pilot killed? Where's the other press woman finds some because gets mad because they're using up all their footage, and she hacks the computers of the TV station and finds that they lied about the Eckhart character, and bring him back from disgrace, not just because he saved the girl, but because it turns out that it wasn't his fault last year, and that the press knew this. I just did not understand. It's like they spent so much time in the movie on her, and there was no payoff for it, and I just didn't understand. The other thing we're going to say about this is it seemed like this was another one of those pilots for a TV show as a movie. This seemed like something that was like, okay, this character is going to come back as a TV show about a cop who has a reporter and permanently, following him around like Castle was in the show Castle. I don't know, that this gets a cough from me.
Okay. And Mike.
Same. Blair. Saban film. Saban? And they the ones that did Power Rangers? I hope I'm wrong about that. God, I hope I'm wrong about that. So Aaron Eckhart sides. There's a call. Doesn't he have a car? He's running about 19 blocks to get to this, to try and apprehend this, and their car is chasing the guy already. So doesn't he have a car? Of course, save the kid, lose the perp. And doesn't he have a taser or something that he could? Now the guy pulls the gun. Like you said, suicide by cop. Yeah. So I kind of zoned a little bit, but then he's like, don't you have a car? Yeah, it's right there. Where's the rest of it? Referring to her Fiat. I laughed. I laughed out loud at that one. And then he flips the toy car, which is awesome. I love that he called her out for knowing the A-team. The movie's really turning into something fun with all the little quips back and forth. And then comes the real star of the show. The counterfeit artist known as Bunny. Bunny goes and busts through 2 walls in his apartment while trying to beat the hell out of Aaron Eckhart's character with no remorse. Then he throws Aaron Eckhart onto the table and gets all teary-eyed because the coffee table from IKEA broke. And then Aaron Eckhart's trying to be nice. The millennial reporter chick from Slugline or whatever the hell it's from is... let's just talk about this for a second. How do these 2 girls who work for an independent online blogging news agency, how do they afford an apartment that serves as their base of operations? How do they afford all of these Mac computers? Them shits is expensive. I know, I looked. So, let's go back. See, she's rubbing off on him. He tries to be nice and says please when he's trying to take that last car. He's rubbing off on her because when the guy doesn't listen, well, he tried to be nice. I'm just going to take your car, dick. Nice GTO, by the way. And they bring a news chopper in to save him. A news chopper. That's pretty much a sign that the brother, who I said nobody else that I remember I know in this movie. So the newscaster woman, the station director that everybody seems to hate is Dina Meyer. Was played by Dina Meyer, who is best known, at least in our circles, as Diz from Starship Troopers. The one who so graciously slept with Johnny Rico before dying in the next battle. And the brother, the surviving brother, was played by Ben something or another, who also played Jim Gordon in Gotham, the TV show. So there were other people in this that you recognize from places. 6 feet under. 6 feet. Where is she? 6 feet under. Is she 6 feet under the house? Or I know where she is. Now, without getting into too many, without spoiling for you, I don't understand how, in that final kind of scene segment, plot twist, how having 300 people on their hands and knees is better than having a couple of guys with the shovel. I don't get it. But I gave this one a smile because I found this one pretty entertaining, and it might be because the chemistry between Aaron Eckhart and Eaton, whatever her first name is. Give me a second. I will pull it up. Courtney Eaton. The chemistry between these two was actually very good compared to the chemistry that I saw between the characters in Hit and Run. And you didn't have anybody with a stupid haircut like Bradley Cooper in this one either. But the chemistry between the two main characters is what made the movie watchable. So, yes, I gave it a smile. And bear in mind, if I had watched this one first, it might not have gotten as high of a rating because Hit and Run was still kind of in my head.
Okay. So there you go. That's how we do it for the double feature movie review. And we will now pick the next two movies that we're going to be reviewing. And we do that by finding out
1 through 38.
1 through 38. So we have 38 movies on our spreadsheet right now, and we will do random number generator to pick them. 36.
Lies and fabrication. Show your screen right now.
Okay, fine.
Show your screen right now. Damn it. I know this one's still available because we talked about this. Eurovision, the story of fire.
What?
Shit ass prick. Will Ferrell in.
I just saw it. I didn't just see it. I just added it to my watch list like the other day because I'm like, I should put this one on the list. I didn't even know it was on the list.
God, yes, it was on the list because crack whore. Damn it.
The story of Fire Saga. Will Ferrell and Rachel McAdams.
She better be phenomenal in this movie because otherwise it's gonna be I'm not gonna be happy.
Okay, that'll be interesting. All right, and the next one is 14. Got even numbers this round.
Extraction on Netflix.
Let's see here.
Great. So we got.
It's a 20. At least that's a 2020 film. Oh, that's Chris Hemsworth. Or Hemsworth.
Yeah, and everybody I know that watched it said it was not worth the 2 hours of their time. But okay. Okay.
All right. Written by Joe Russo.
Unmute yourself.
Yeah, you're muted, Colin.
Oh, has been for a long time. So yeah, we're watching two movies that are actually still relevant.
Yeah, because they're both Netflix originals.
Yeah.
And they just came out. So.
Well, we have that to look forward to.
How long is this Eurovision crap? God, it's 2 hours and 3 minutes long. I got to deal with Will Ferrell doing an accent. Anytime Will Ferrell does an accent, it's enough to make me just...
I just wonder what the... I just kind of want to...
No.
I'm gonna look through the. All right, let's see here. What's I just wanted to pull a still real quick and see what I can see from. Oh yeah,
There
boy.
is not enough alcohol in my house. Yeah, this is going back to Hans and
How about-
Franz. Yeah.
Come on, Mike. That doesn't make your day. See, we're literally just jumping through the trailer, but
I mean, literally, am I the only one that's like kind of Will Ferrelled out at this point?
oh, this looks like Blades of Glory, but with the Eurovision Song Contest.
No, this looks
That's
like
actually why I
this
put
looks
it on
like
the list.
Huh?
this looks like Mamma Mia meets Blades of Glory meets Soul Plane, for Christ's sakes. I mean, come on.
Actually, I haven't seen any Will Ferrell in a while, so I guess I'm not Will Ferrell now. But there's a lot of Will Ferrell I haven't seen. Like I didn't see that one where he was like Step Brothers.
I didn't watch that. No, I try to keep my Will Ferrell intake to a minimum. I mean, I get my annual dose of Will Ferrell, and that's about it. And I try not to get any more than that. I stay with the national recommended dosage. I don't go above that. I don't want a Will Ferrell overdose. I mean, bad things can happen when you do that. So,
The movies I added are much more in our usual vein. So, but either of them got picked this time.
So, all right. So that's it. So Eurovision, the story of the Fire Saga, and Extraction. Those will be what we'll be watching next time around. So we want to make sure that everybody knows that you can check out the website, and you can also, so that's ptrradio.com, before I forget to say it. You can also check us out on social media, basically every platform, at PTR Radio. Just look for us there. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Twitch, YouTube, all the places have our shows now. And we thank everybody for tuning in. Don't forget, subscribe to the podcast. Go to ptrradio.com. There's a podcast link. Just click on it to find all the information about that. And with that said, we're going to be back in about 2 weeks. So in 2 weeks, we'll be into August. It's going to be August 3rd. Can you believe it? We'll be.
How?
Is that going to be like our 4th month of lockdown?
No.
3rd month of lockdown?
No, more than that, isn't it?
I have to go. I got to go back and look because I could have swore we've been on lockdown since March in Jersey.
April,
Yeah.
May, June. Okay, so it'll be, yeah, so, boy, yeah, this lockdown thing's getting kind of long. You know, Colin, I was going to redo the studio for you and make you a nice little spot, but now I'm thinking